Hello, welcome back. I ended up taking somewhat of a break after finishing that game development video, which I was very excited to finally finish. And we finished the Gourmand playthrough, so today we're going to be continuing on the Artificer campaign. I've been going in order of all the campaigns, and Artificer isn't my favorite, but if I had to pick and I didn't have my favorite slugcat, Spearmaster, Artificer would probably be my next go-to. I don't think I've ever played through this campaign on keyboard, so I'm curious to see if it'll be wacky. And I'm also on Steam now, so that's new. I did technically install mods, but the only one I have on is the resharpener for less blurry full screen. Oh, yep, I'm already misclicking. Usually what I do is I grab scavengers, I eat them, and then I run over to Shaded Citadel. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. This part probably isn't going to be the most entertaining. I could talk about Corum, my game that I'm making. There is probably some stuff so it is in very early development, so I probably won't have much to show, but I am making good progress. Right now I've been, working on some basic art for like ground cover, and I was implementing some of the random objects you'll find on the ground. I think today I'm going to be focusing on like how the game draws images to the screen and what else? And making the actual window for the game resizable. Because I had a bunch of stuff set up kind of specifically for that. We'll see. I was originally using Monogame for development, and I had switched to Foster framework like I had said. I've been really enjoying Foster. I don't know if it's simpler than Monogame, but Monogame just felt so overcomplicated compared to Foster. I would highly recommend you check it out. I was even looking at their page for their game engine, and there's a handful of other engines that were made with Foster too, that are open source as well. So someday, I might look into them. Because I think it would be cool to look into more of the different kinds of game engines. And I've already kind of got a preference for frameworks just because they've been what I'm using so long. So I find it amusing that I publicly state that I'm making a game engine when I haven't really used a game engine before, so I don't really know what they are like. All I know is the the small amount I've used tampering with Godot and the general definition that the game engine is the tools you use to build your game. And that's not a lot. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna sleep here. And I have the scavenger for food. There. No bugs. I had lots of fun coding the logic for picking up items in my game. It was surprisingly complicated, but I have a simple system now that I'll be able to modify in the future, and if I need to make any changes to it, I should be able to. Okay. I think I turned my volume up too loud. Do I need food? Yeah. I've been working on getting a lot of my progress back, which I did very quickly at first since I'm on Steam now. Day one, I was able to complete the Survivor campaign, and I've also been working on the Gourmand campaign in the background to get that progress. But since I had already completed the Survivor campaign, it's letting me play Artificer. Hello. I don't think I've actually seen one of those here before. Scissorbird? I think they have lots of different names. So we need to go to 5 Pebbles. Let's take this route. I want to go up Chimney Canopy. Am I the person to jump through here because I can? Seeing the lizards will give me some light. Oh, I just fell. Yeah. Nope, I died. That was dumb. I don't know. Okay. I also had fun testing out different controllers because I was able to really easily get controller input set up for my game. It's actually simpler than keyboard input, which I almost don't believe it. It only needs like 2 lines of code, whereas controller input needs like 6. Which they're both pretty simple, but the controller input was definitely a lot faster to set up. A lot of the data I needed was just right there given to me. I have been learning a lot from programming game development too, because in C# or .NET, the programming language I'm using, there are 2 build types for Windows. There's Windows, which is a terminal application, and then there's Windows EXE, which is like a graphical application. And I didn't know the difference. I just thought it was being specific. You know, there's an exe, an executable, and then there's a Windows executable. But no, the difference is actually in, does this app open with a terminal, or does it open with a GUI, or a graphical view? And I would have this annoying thing that I didn't know what to do about, where the game would open with a terminal, and it would always kind of display some header information about Foster. And I wouldn't mind it displaying information about Foster, I just didn't like that it opened a terminal. And I thought it was something Foster was doing, and I even tried upgrading to a newer version of Foster. And I realized that, no, Foster is not the issue. It's because I was building to an executable, when I should have been building to a Windows executable. However, just because I can build to a Windows executable and get rid of the terminal doesn't mean I want to, because I can use the terminal for debugging and displaying information while I'm programming, and then when I release a version of the game, I can just release it as a Windows exe, which I thought was pretty cool. There are all these scavengers here. Should I be fighting them? Ow. Not anymore. Where is it? Oh. There are lots of silly guys in here. I've been doing this whole thing without a lantern. Well, at least I know my way around this place. Oh, I do have a grenade. Okay. I am not to be trusted with explosives in multiplayer. I am way too irresponsible. I usually get myself killed with them. What happened? That was expected. I was pressing grab. This is the campaign that I die a lot in. Oh, I dropped my spear. I'm not going back for it. I should try to get a lantern. I mean, it's not a lantern, but if I go this way, I could probably get one. Oh, nope, there was spiders. Alright, maybe I should try going a different way then. Maybe we'll try 5 pebbles, the wall. Not the wall, that was where I was going earlier. The exterior. Artificer's pretty good at that stuff, isn't she? And I think there's less rot. I almost died. Again. I should be counting my deaths, figure out how many... I think I've died like 5 times. Just in this first cycle. What was that? I don't know. You have to be careful in this room because there are a ton of spiders at the bottom. Nothing is stopping them from coming up, too. It's just so hard to see. You have to use the map to know where you're going. At least as you play, you get somewhat of a feel for how things should go. I don't want to go that way. Maybe I should get a lantern. That might be the problem. Ow. I've been playing as Gourmand a lot. I don't like these spiders. I hear scavengers. Oh. Make the camera go down a little bit. Oh, nope, I fell right in. I think they're all active on the thingy there. Okay. I think I'll sleep. I should have grabbed that scavenger that was out there. Because I could have just went straight through the gate. Dang it. Okay. Might be being too loud. I don't know how to make sure. Two spiders and a scavenger. Oh yeah, because there's a whole Rain World sub-community that won't like my actions. Well, I got a... I got a lantern. Do I really need it at this point, though? I don't think I do. It's probably a little too early for the scavengers to be hanging out, because it counts as kill parties, and I don't really know what my settings are set to, but there's supposed to be a delay before the scavenger kill parties can come out. Oh, there's a collectible up there. There we go. It was funny because I was originally planning on doing a video on the game jam and then a video on my game, but I ended up mixing it all together because those videos individually would have probably been pretty short. So I was able to make a longer video that gave context to, hey, I'm a programmer. I've kind of been doing this for a while, and I decided that I'm going to start making something that I'm excited about and need to publicize. I didn't say that right. Publicize. Eh. Oh, okay. I don't need anything to go through this gate. That is convenient. Do, 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 do. I think cameras are a pretty cool system in programming too. I have fun messing around with them and getting confused at the math you have to do. Scavengers. I think I have a explosive. Did they all go over here? Yeah. There we go. I don't like that scavengers can throw at an angle, but we can't. It is a little unfair in my opinion. Well, I guess there's mods for throwing at an angle. Not everyone is a mod. Not everyone plays on computer, though. That's one of my big frustrations, is lots of times people are just expected to be playing on computer when that's not a valid expectation. I understand some limitations, though, for consoles that prevent you from doing certain things like modding. Some of it's security. Some of it is a lack of support for the console for other software. That was a really funny sound. Is there a white lizard in here? There's a vulture. You can see the funny spears. Is there a lizard in here? No. Conveniently. Ooh, oh, this only has... Okay, well 3 is enough. Usually I have the max karma enabled, but I don't have the persistent karma enabled between cycles for scavengers. I guess I'll just have to get used to searching, because I don't really feel like changing that. It's not worth keeping it. I need another scavenger to get to the other gate. The Artificer campaign is pretty short for me typically, because it's not very difficult. It's very linear compared to the other campaigns, so it's kind of easy to just speed through it. As long as you're not dying to scavengers all the time. Which, I mean, that's the point, isn't it? Do you have to have something in your mouth? I don't know. Is there anything interesting going on in the Rainworld community? I think there was a speedrunning event going on. And they've been doing lots of bingo. Rainworld bingo. I know this region tends to suck for Artificer. So let's see how quickly I can make it. There's gonna be lizards. There's a lizard in here though, so... Dang it, I fell. I don't know where my spear went. I mean, it's not my spear. I might actually go the long way. The long way might be a bit better. And it'll be easier since I'm Artificer. Where did it go? There we go. Hit it. Finally. That was excessively difficult. There's a scavenger. That was a little scary. Oh yeah, why did I come here? There's a scavenger spot right there. Am I speedrunning Chimney Canopy now? So I did not sleep there. Oh. I don't like the green ones. I really don't like the green ones. They're gross. That's the thing that's been very evident throughout my playthroughs, is that I seem to detest Rainworld spiders. It's like I have arachnophobia. But no. I don't have arachnophobia. I just don't like spiders. Funny because there's been instances where I've been outside and there's a spider that crawls right up to the table and the people around me, they kind of panic and I just kind of gently scooch away. Like, eh. It's not gonna hurt me. Still don't like spiders though. You always have to get the collectibles. Even if you've done it in previous campaigns. I don't think they've reset by campaign. Oh, dang it. Speaking of which, this is actually a good spot, because all this... What was that? That was some humongous screen shake. Was not what I needed. I need a scavenger that has level 4 or more. Oh. I guess not. Rainworld should have the input configuration system for console. It's much more convenient on PC. And console, I've always had these issues where you'll set something up and the controllers won't be right, and the players will all be jumbled up, or all the players will be on one controller, and it's like, why can't I just pick the controllers? I guess that's kind of the point. But I've always had issues with it. Always, always. But then I'll go to my friends' houses, and we'll play Rain World on their Switch or their console, and it won't have any issues. It's like the problem is isolated to me. Like only my stuff has the input issues. I don't understand it. We're gonna go this way because I'm not trying to take this scavenger through all those spiders. They're all gonna try and steal it. And this scavenger has a high enough level. I've been listening to the Rain World OST a lot recently for focus, and it has been carrying into what games I recognize in my playthroughs. And I'll hear these songs and be like, oh, I recognize that song from the OST, because for some reason I can't ever remember them from the game. So all I have to do is get past the scavengers. And that can't be that hard. If I'm good at fighting them, actually okay at fighting them, I mean, I should be good at evading them. And then there's one right in my path. Of course there is. Okay. We got one of these guys. Oh, I did not know you could get there. I thought vultures were much too rotund to fit into that space. Whatever, I made it past. And then I technically don't need to go up there, so I can just go down this pipe here. That... Wrong pipe. Oh no. I am unarmed. I'm curious which campaign gets sped run the most, because I feel like it would be Artificer, since it's short as is. Your first playthrough probably won't be short, but succeeding playthroughs will probably be pretty short. We're almost there. I probably shouldn't be jumping and making so much noise. King Vulture! There we go. There used to be a huge issue with this gate that it would crash. I'm glad they did a ton of bug patches with the release of the Watcher. This game is much better now that they fixed a bunch of the bugs. A lot of the bugs caused crashes too. It could have just been one bug. That was extremely common, but there was a lot of crashes, and it happens much less now. Okay, I'm gonna leave it off here. Thank you for watching. Jesus loves you, and I don't have an outro.